What's going on, guys? My name's Matt. I'm McSportzawk. I'm here back with my co-host, Reed.
Woohoo!
And we're doing the ZOMBROZ today. We have a special guest, Laggin24. Say hello.
What's up, guys? How's it going, everybody?
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited for this week of Zombie
Yes.
Bros.
Let's do it.
Oh, we have good questions this week.
Let's
We're going to go
go.
crazy. So let's get pumped. First one, right into it. What would you guys like to see in the setting?
Get
my
it
God.
out there. You got it.
Wow. I was
so
so
pumped.
I
He's
was
so
so
excited.
fired up, and I was looking for a different question. Would you guys like to see a setting where you can look for people with only mics?
All right, who answers first? How do we do this?
We're going to let Laggin go. You can go first.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, so no, I'm not. I don't really care about that at all. I play most of my zombies solo. So I just prefer solo because I get immersed into the environment, and it's just a totally different experience than playing with friends. And I guess if you're playing with friends, you're usually on Skype with them, so there's no need for that. But if you're going to play with randoms, I do understand the importance of like communication while you're playing zombies. So it would be a good feature, but it's not anything I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great point. I said something similar that for other people, it's absolutely critical. Like, right, if you're trying to go into a game and you're trying to play with other people, right, you need to be able to communicate with them. If they don't have a mic, it's super hard to figure out what you're going to do, you know, where you're going to go, how you're going to strategize. But for us, I play with mostly friends who have mics or mostly YouTubers, so we're obviously communicating, doing some kind of live commentary or something like that. So for me personally, it's not a big deal, but I think for the community, it would be a great implementation if Claire could pull that off. But we'll see. I don't think they're going to do it personally. I don't think it's a big enough, hit point for them to try to go ahead and go for that, but we'll see.
I agree. I think it's one of those things that they would do at the bottom. It'd be a bottom issue, like right at the back end. This shouldn't be a priority of theirs. Like They should be working on gameplay and making the map, not the setting. But I think it's great for people just in the community who really need someone to play with when they don't really have friends to play with. But also, it could help YouTubers because now you're getting in mic'd lobbies, and then if you do like your troll stuff, you're looking for a squeaker. You're in good shape. So like the classic, who used to troll? Was it Burns that used to troll in zombies or something like that, standing in the 5 elevator? I remember those
definitely
videos.
Do that.
Oh, it was so funny to watch those videos.
He would shoot Leroy on the map Barry, send him back to the jail cell just over and over, and get some great reactions from it. Yeah, I do remember that.
That's awesome. Wow,
that would be really helpful. You're right.
I know. So you could get some funny stuff that way, but I don't think it's a priority either, and we'll see where that goes. Now, the question I accidentally read first, and that's why I was like, oh no. What time period do you think this game will be in? What are you feeling?
So then I guess that would depend on if the rumors are true. Will there actually be a World at War throwback map that they're going to include on launch? And if so, then yeah, we're going to be back in the early 1900s, Right? Isn't that when World War I was?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Right, okay.
One
History
and two.
with Laggin, we got this. So I guess you could have the potential for 2 completely different time periods throughout zombies. If they're going to give us some sort of throwback, then obviously it's going to be, 1900s early. And then if they do something modern to go with the theme of the multiplayer, then God, I don't know, 2060, is that when the game's taking place? Something like that?
Yeah.
So you could have 2 totally just polar opposite zombie experiences. I'm not quite sure which way they're going to go, but my vote is on 2 different time periods. Plus, with Treyarch, they also throw in time travel. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But I would say early 1900s. I really believe there is going to be a throwback.
Yeah. Laggin's stealing all my answers right now.
Oh, this is great.
It's good. We're in agreement on this one for sure. I definitely think we're going to start out in a World at War time period. I think they're going to give us that nostalgic feel as we're all used to, or all wanting anyway. I think a lot of people are really eager to get back to the creepiness of World at War and those type of maps because they were just so great. Doris is so playable still. I do think, though, we're going to end up traveling somehow, some way into the future during the time period of the multiplayer, 2060 or around there. And I think it's just super easy for them to throw it around like that with the time rift. It's going to be super simple for them to mold the storyline into whatever kind of maps they want to create. So we'll see, but I do think it's going to be something where we have multiple different time periods within the different maps.
I agree. I think they're going to do the Black Ops approach. We got to stop agreeing, by the way. But we got to do the Black Ops 1 approach was where we were just jumping. We were in the 60s. We were in 2010. We just kept going back and forth. And I think possibly we're going to have some in the early 1900s, some in the late 2000s, like we said already. But maybe, I have a feeling we might go to an ancient map, probably BC or something like that, and it'll be totally justified by the rift and all the things in space-time. So I really, really want an ancient map. Some kind of thing.
Egypt pyramids?
You think in Egypt? Yeah.
Yeah, we either go Egypt or we go to some of the lost worlds of like all the myths. There's so many myths out there. We'll talk about one myth later on that I really, really want in the zombies. But there's so many they could just be like, oh yeah, we could go to this place. Yeah, let's see where this goes, and it'd be such a fun map.
Right, so just not another Shangri-La.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to do a better Shangri-La.
Just a better Shangri-La.
Shangri-La was a good idea, but just
give me some
you guys didn't
more
like Shangri-La?
No.
Really?
No.
Dude, I hated that map for the longest time. It took years and years in Black Ops 2 Transit to get me to be like, Shangri-La's a pretty swell map, you know?
It's a pretty, visually speaking map. It's pretty, but for my style of play, which highly evolves around training, it's just where do you do it on that map? I can't get past round 20.
That's part of the reason I like it, because it's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna go here and train, and it's no problem. We're gonna do everything we want to do. I thought visually, aesthetically, it was amazing. I thought the Easter egg was absolutely phenomenal. Mm-hmm. It was hard to do, and it took a lot to do, and it was challenging, which was I think it should be. And I loved it. I thought it was a great map.
I do like, to be fair about the Easter egg, I did like the Easter egg because all 4 players could get the focusing stone. It wasn't just an instant perma-perk. And it was amazing if you did it right. If you could just keep the napalm, you could do the Easter egg in like 30, 40 minutes 4 times over. It was amazing to see how that could work.
But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Please.
I was going to say, while you were talking about napalm, there are some very annoying things with that map. It's not just the fact that there's no training room. There's the napalm zombie, the shrieker zombie, and the monkeys that steal your perks. Now, granted, that could work in your favor if you shoot them at the right time, get something better. But who's got time when you're getting surrounded by zombies to chase a monkey around? I just did not like the flow of that map.
It makes sense. I think it's not a solo player map, so that makes the most sense. Matt isn't a solo player.
Not at all.
Blagan's more of a solo player, and I'm really in the middle. I do both. I play the shit out of solo, and I play the shit out of a co-op, so I see the ups and downs. But on release, it's funny how many times I hate a map on release just because I'm playing it for 15, 16 hours straight. Yeah. You're going to hate it if you play it too much. And I'm amazed how Doris is the only one that I've never been played it so much where I'm just like, oh, I can't stand Doris. I always come back to that map.
I don't know what it is.
I don't.
Love
Treyarch, it. What did you do with that map that just...
It's just got the elements of everybody's playstyle in that map. I mean, I just love it. That's my favorite map as well.
Yep.
Well, you're right. That's a great point you make, Blagan, because you can go, you can train, you can camp, you can do challenges. There's so many different ways to play that map, especially World at War, because Pack-a-Punch is so readily available, and the weapons, no matter what weapon you Pack-a-Punch in World at War, it's useful. I don't think there's a single World at War weapon that you're like, oh man, I can't do much with. Even the Armageddon, up until round 20, that's I think the Car 96 when you upgrade it, you still can knock zombies down with one shot. I mean, that's fun. Where, again, you get the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 weapons when you upgrade them. Some of them are just like, what am I doing with this gun? I'd be better throwing it at them than using it.
Agreed.
All right.
Agreed.
Now, we're thinking a little bit about storyline stuff, and we have a great question here is, if you could remove a map and all of its storyline elements from Black Ops 1, what would you remove?
So is this an either or? If I can remove a map or remove a story element?
No, it's both. When you take the map away, you're also removing all the story elements that it created.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So I was going to say Shangri-La. The guys were trapped in Shangri-La, correct? Was that the storyline there? And then they had to get out, and they were also helping two explorers were trapped, and the guys were helping them, right?
Right.
Yes. Okay. No. Let's go with. I don't want to remove that. I don't. This one kind of. I guess I misread the question when you sent them to me.
No, it's totally fine, dude. I do that all the time.
Let's just go with Kino. I don't think that has really any. Not Kino. Oh my God! Did I just say that? I meant to say 5.
I gotcha.
Really had no effect on anything, did it?
It did, but that's one of the deepest ways to figure it out. The Pentagon tech. I'm going to make a video soon about this on the theory, but it's pretty well in the zombie community Loris right now that the Pentagon thief, the guy that comes and steals your weapons, is actually Yuri from Ascension. So that's what's happening at the same time. In Ascension with the Ascension group and the Gersh device that goes off. So it draws a direct parallel between the two places that's going on at the same time. That red phone that dials in 5, that dials in Ascension. They both are interacting with each other at the same time. The President's thing is a little weird, but everything that happens at 5 had a direct impact on the storyline. in some shape, way, or form. Removing it, I think you're totally justified, though, to be honest. There is storyline implication, but I don't think it would change that much.
Could I have said Dead Ops Arcade?
You could not have said Dead Ops Arcade because that thing does not exist.
All right, fine. 5 it is.
5
Go ahead,
it is.
Matt.
Yeah,
What about you, Matt?
I don't like Kino or 5, to be honest with you, but I definitely have to remove 5. It's probably my least favorite map of all time, even over Transit.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. What's
Dude,
wrong with you, Matt?
It's just so stupid. It's a terrible map.
Oh, I will disagree with
I
you.
thought that for
worst.
the longest time. I learned to like it, though.
Yeah,
It's
me
weird.
It's so
too.
random. Like
You can train on that map
It's
and
so
camp.
random. It's so
The
random.
Presidents is weird. I will give
It's
you
so
that. The
random. Like, it has
character.
nothing to do with anything. It really is just so random, and I think it's a terrible map. It's too small. I could go on all day about it, but I hate the map 5. And I wish Lag had said something else because it's my
That's
one to
hilarious.
hate. You know, it's my worst map.
Fine,
So
you hate it, man. I just went with it, okay? And
definitely
then
5
Reed
though.
shut me down.
Definitely
Reed shut me
5.
down with
I
the
don't think a
story.
single. Yeah, right. I don't think
Yeah.
a single thing would change though in the overall storyline, even if they took out 5 in the story.
Probably not, to be honest.
So
with you.
with that, I mean, going from it that way, why would you even have 5 to begin with, right? It's kind of like so random. I just don't. So
Matt's
I hate it. I
internal
hate
hatred.
it. Hate it so much. People in the comment can disagree with me all they want. I hate that map.
Well, I've had some good experiences with multiple players. Like we camp in the the Pack-a-Punch room, and you can just Pack-a-Punch your weapon. Then when it goes away, there's 2 windows and then 2 people up front, and you can camp, and it's so much fun. And then if you get the bonfire sale, everyone has Pack-a-Punch weapons. You're going crazy. I love the bonfire sale.
That's the only map with bonfire sale, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to bring that back. That was
Oh
awesome.
yeah. My goodness, it's so good. So, all right, the map I would remove, which I was so happy no one said it, and you might be a little shocked, but I don't think so too much because I'm a story guy. Moon,
No,
100%
no,
Moon.
Wow.
Moon
Leave.
is the worst
We're firing
thing
you from the
that
show.
ever happened to zombies. It derailed the amazing storyline that Zombies was crafting up until that point. The Moon storyline, when they blew up Earth, fucked everything. They were definitely going for the wow factor when, like, oh, Samantha's in the pyramid. Oh, my God. But Moon, I love playing the map. I'm going to put that there. I love playing Moon. The wave gun and all that stuff's fun. The biodome, I love it. But the storyline was completely ruined at that point when they blew up the moon. I was so bitter about that. I'm still bitter to this day about it because it led to Transit. It led to the whole Black Ops storyline, the world being messed up. Now it's an infection. The whole storyline just didn't make sense anymore once they blew up the moon. And it killed me because when Shangri-La ended, like Call of the Dead, we heard the hints. Like the story they were creating was mind-boggling. Our characters, you heard like the elephant thing and all this weird stuff in Call of the Dead. Then Shangri-La ends. We had these 2 items we're crafting. We have the Vrilya storyline going on. The characters, are they in heaven? Are they Mars? What's going on? Because they're all of a sudden they're all beat up and the character models have blood on them and all this in one map. And the next map, they're pristine and they look like they did in Shinonuma. And it's weird to see the progression of what they look like. And Richtofen has a spacesuit and Ascension. You couldn't guess the storyline. Nothing was straightforward at that point. And Moon suddenly just gave it all to us on a platter and said, this is the storyline, and then this is what happens, and that's how it's going to be. And the radios were awesome in Moon. I liked a lot of the elements of it. But, man, the way they showed Samantha and then the way they blew up the Earth just totally screwed what they were making at that point. And then it started to make it, like, it put us on that path for it's just a game. They're just playing with dolls. It's just a child's game. They put that in Kino der Toten a little bit in one of those rooms. Mm-hmm. And, I
have a question for both of you guys since you're the hosts. Real quick, do you guys have like a ZOMBROZ point system? Because I would like to deduct like 5 points from Reed.
Yes, I second the
doing,
motion.
man?
I second the motion.
Oh,
that's
please.
5 points lost.
Reed,
I'm fine with that.
You tore a little bit out of me on that one.
I'm glad I did. Maybe you'll think about it next time when you.
Okay. Here's my question to you, Reed.
Please.
Okay, so let's assume that they do take the moon map out, right?
Yeah.
They take out all those amazing hours of playing, but forget about that. Just the story. What happens? What do you want to see happen? You're now the writer. You have the pen in your hand. What happens?
Well, the big thing at the time where everyone thought and were praying we were going was Atlantis. that's what I was going to get at earlier, is we want the Atlantis map, because it made sense with the Villia. We were going to Argatha. We were trying to unlock this mystical world. Brock and Gary's whole thing was trying to unlock Argatha. And we didn't get an Argatha ending until Buried Endgame, when they started talking about Argatha again. And then, again, Origins. That's why I think Origins is one of those brilliant maps, because it starts to make sense with all the multiverse theories and all this stuff they've put in. But Moon didn't fit for what they were building up for me. And then they had to do all this, just putting the pieces back together with Transit and Die Rise. And they were just putting all these things back together. And you're saying, God, what? We had so much. We had so much in Call of the Dead, in Shangri-La, in Ascension. And these maps were leading up to a giant ending in Atlantis. Instead of, okay, again, I'd sent that binder of things to Treyarch, but that's one of the maps, oh my God, I would die to be able to create, because they could have did a lot of things in Moon that they could have easily implemented in Atlantis. And it looked like those things could have fit into the Atlantis storyline. I heard rumors that they were thinking about it at first to do the Atlantis map, but then they scrapped it. And that's probably what hurt me so much on Moon, because it also legitimized the Doris, where there's a teddy bear on the moon or 3 lights on the moon, and everyone's just like, shut up, that's not a thing. And then Treyarch's like, haha, it is now. And you're like, oh. Well,
so why can't we have an Atlantis map, Black Ops 3 then?
We can, but look what Moon created. It created Transit. Think about that.
I would
Best
not
map ever.
think about
What's the
that.
I don't
there?
think about it that way. I don't think about it, because storyline. Okay, we're gonna get this later on. Actually, the next question is part of. We should go to the next question, because this leads right into it.
All right, please. After the zombie team making 2 weaker maps in Black Ops 2 and the campaign team making 2 of the strongest, would it be better for the campaign team to do more work on zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops 3?
Okay, so the campaign team, correct me, stop me if I'm wrong, but they made Mob of the Dead?
Mm-hmm. And Origins.
Okay. Yep. Now, for me, I thought Buried was awesome. I know it's like super easy because of all the tools they gave us, but I loved the environment. You'll hear me say like immersive and environment a lot. That's what Zombies is for me. So I loved Buried.
Right.
The ambient noise, the music, it was all great. But that being said, Mob of the Dead was epic, and so was Origins. And if that's the kind of stuff they're going to produce consistently, then I would say yes, it's better for the campaign team to work on zombies. Might not be a popular answer, but they nailed it.
Mm-hmm. You know, Ryan, we might as well just start playing together, because you're stealing every single answer. I could not agree more. People hate Buried, and I guess because it's so easy.
It's a hit or miss map.
But
it's the biggest hit or miss map.
It's easily one of my top 5. I love that map. There's so much to do. There's so much going on. They put so much time and effort into it. It was great. It's so much fun to play. I can go play it whenever. But I don't think... I want to disagree with the statement a little bit, because I do agree that Mob of the Dead and Origins were probably 2 of the best maps. Again, top 5 maps for me. But Transit... They put a ton of time into that map. It was huge. I think if it was executed better, it could have been a great idea. I think it just ended up not working out the way they wanted it to. But you can see that map is by far the biggest map we've ever had. They put a ton of thought into it, how to get us from space to space and how that would work gameplay style. I think it was a great idea. I think it just didn't work out very well. And for future maps, I would love to see the 2 teams work together. I'd love to see the campaign team work with the zombies team, because there are elements in both types of maps that I really appreciated, really enjoyed. I think Mob of the Dead's and Origins were, again, absolutely awesome, and I'd love to see the campaign team get to work with the zombie team again on developing some maps, and even the storyline and Easter eggs along those for Black Ops 3. And I would imagine that they will, just based on the amount of time that they've had to get together the last 3 years and really put in the effort that they wanted to with zombies. I think they'll probably have a bigger team, and maybe some of those campaign guys will be on that zombie team now.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense. Now, I think one thing that could have fixed Transit, like I just have one quick fix with Transit right there, is they implemented a cart system like in Shangri-La, a tunnel system that could get you to each place underground. After you got to like town, and you could now unlock all these underground tunnels to get you around faster. We can talk about all the issues there are with Transit, but still, I know they worked hard on that, but they've worked hard on a lot of maps, and by far that map is terrible. I don't know how they play tested it and didn't think it was a bad map. The only way I think if they gave people to play test it, it had to be people who never played zombies at all. Because your experience with zombies the first time is always magical. You always love the map. And I feel like they had too many yes people saying, this is going to be great, this is going to be great. Transit, it's bigger, it's better than before. And it just didn't hold up. Now, something that might be a misconception, and it seems like you two guys might not know as much, is that campaign and the zombies team make all the maps concurrently. They both work on every map. It's just who takes the lead on each map. So, like, the zombie team normally takes the lead on each map, and then sometimes they gave the campaign team the lead for Mob of the Dead and Origins. I think that they need to continue to work together, and I would prefer the zombie team to still be working as the heads of it. They've done a lot of amazing things. From, again, if we get the zombie team from Nocturne and Toten to Shangri-La, I'd be happy with them working on it. And if we get Origins and Mob of the Dead campaign team, I'm even more excited to see what they can produce. So them working together on almost everything would be better than just picking, just them or just them, because many other ideas, many different perspectives make these games better.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the one thing I want to bring up about Transit while we're still on the subject is that it was innovative, right? So I don't think we can say it wasn't innovative. They tried something out of the box that was supposed to wow us, and it just, for most people, it failed. But I can't blame them for trying it, so I feel like I should say that. It was the first of its kind, but if they should know one thing about their fans, it's that we like the repetitiveness of zombies, because we sit there for 50 rounds at a time doing the same thing over and over. You don't have to try something so crazy out of the box. Just give us what we're used to, and we'll be perfectly happy. Spice it up here and there, but I'm fine with the same old, same old. Absolutely fine with it.
Interesting. You got any response to that, Matt?
This again goes into other questions, but I would have to agree a little bit. Although I do want to see new things. I don't want it to be super repetitive to the fact that it's like, okay, I've done this for the past 3 years, and let's get something a little bit more spiced up. So I do appreciate the effort to make it new. I think the reasoning behind having that one first is because they can build so much hype. Like, oh my gosh, there's a bus. That means you're going to be traveling from place to place. It's going to be an epic map. It's going to be huge. So much to do. Build a lot of hype up for it. And there's another question that kind of leads into that, so I want to keep on going.
Okay, we will definitely keep on going.
Do it.
How many zombie maps do you think Black Ops 3 will launch with?
So just a complete guess, I'm going to go with 3. One old map, and I'm not saying an old map remade. I'm just saying an old style map from like World at War kind of feel to it. So one of those, and then 2 of the more futuristic maps. I just went with 3 because 13 is my favorite number, and I took the 1 off because there's not going to be 13 maps. So there you go.
Well,
awesome.
3 is my favorite number, but I don't think there will be 3. I think that's way too much content to throw at us at once.
Okay.
I'd like to see 2. In Black Ops 2, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Nuketown and Transit, correct?
Transit.
Yeah. On release.
Yeah, then they split up Transit into some survival maps.
Right, right. So I think they'll do 2 again. I hope to see 1 World at War throwback, and then probably, again, like Lagan said, some kind of future, technically, one that lines up with the multiplayer timeline. That's what I hope for. I honestly wouldn't want to see 3 maps because I think that's just too much content at once. I'd be like, all right, I want to play all of them right now, but like I want to play 1 thoroughly, but it's just too much at once. And I'd rather see them space them out and do 5 DLC instead of 4. But that's my hope. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Interesting. The way I think we're gonna get 3 to 4 different types of modes on launch. So we're going to have normal survival. We'll have grief and turn. We'll probably return because they're not going to really let that go. And then I think we'll get our zombie campaign. The campaign will launch with a couple maps to play, 2 to 3. And then the survival will be based on that and possibly have to be unlocked, or maybe they won't need to be unlocked based on how far you get in the zombie campaign. Then, with that said, the other 2 modes can have certain maps like they did, and like Buried had a grief mode, and then there might be a turned mode in a different map. So they might be able to get somewhere between almost like 3 to 4 maps they could turn into 16 maps on launch. Different ways to play.
Shit.
I think that's more likely, as long as they don't do what they did with Transit. Because Transit, they'll argue that they launched with 5-6 maps the first time because they broke it up. Mm-hmm. But I hope they don't do that because they broke up such a big map. Right there, it should have told Treyarch there's an issue. If you can take a map and break it off into 4 different sections that you could just play on, that's like, it's a bit too big if you can't travel fast enough. What they did in Call of Duty Black Ops 1 was really good. I love what they did with 5, Kino, and Dead Ops. How you had to unlock Dead Ops Arcade was really cool. And I do like 5 and Kino as maps, so I think we got a really good set. Black Ops 1 Zombies gave us a lot of bang for our buck when it came to maps, but some of the most fun maps are obviously World at War.
All right.
Fair enough.
Wow, that was the first agreement.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I don't agree with you. I will disagree with you, but
I
there's no real right answer.
I like
exactly.
the thought process. I like it.
Yes. All right. So if the first zombie map isn't as good as we think, how do you think the zombie community will react?
Okay, so it's been a 3-year break. Is that about right? By the time it comes out? Yeah. So a lot of people don't like Exo Zombies because of the Exo movement. It just turns them off to it, and that's fine. And so they have really just been dry for zombie content. They're ready for something. Either that could go two ways. I mean, so they're so ready for something, anything's going to seem pretty awesome. Or they're so ready for something, if Treyarch messes this up, they'll be furious. I've already forgot the question. But hopefully that answered it. Did that answer it?
That was the answer.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Nailed it.
I think you can look at Transit and realize that no matter what happens, the hype going into it is going to make it exciting to play at least the first several weeks. And then once we get a second map to compare it to, if it is a crappy map, we'll be like, wow, that map was awful. It's Transit 2.0. But I think no matter what, when the map comes out, they're going to hype it well. We know Treyarch does a really good job of teasing maps. It's going to look great. We're going to be eager and hungry to play a Treyarch zombie map after 3 years. I think it's going to be awesome to play something that's, Treyarch created after a while. No matter what, no matter if it's terrible or not, I think it's going to be okay at first. And then, a couple months down the road, if it is really bad after all, and we realize, wow, this map is not fun to play after a month or two, then it'll get a lot of backlash like Transit has. But I don't think it's going to be a game breaker for for Treyarch at all.
Yeah, I don't either, because in my answer too, I said even if it's really, really bad and we will explode and the community will get angry, we'll still wait for the DLCs to save it, because we said the same thing with Black Ops 2. Transit's the worst map ever, I hate it. And then the DLC started coming in and we're like, yay, I'm happy now.
Exactly.
Yep.
Even Die Rise after Transit was pretty awesome. It was only until the next map started coming out that we realized that Die Rise wasn't really that awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hate the elevators so much.
I
appreciate
Die Rise
they
was that
tried.
bad.
Yeah, Matt, you're still weird about that. I still don't
Dude,
agree.
we just don't agree. I think Die Rise is way better than Transit N5 for sure.
I just don't. I didn't like the time I had to wait for the elevators. You were so dependent on the elevators. That was the only thing that turned me off about that map. But I've played it many times. I obviously don't hate it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean, it's just a weak map for me. I don't think I hate the map. I hate Transit, but it's weak. It's very weak. Die Rise 5. I still think 5's better than Die Rise though. Yeah, but I think it's Treyarch to lose, to be honest with you. I mean, no matter if they make anything similar to even if they make a Shangri-La map, they're still going to hit a home run with the community, because it's still a good map. We hated it on launch, but it's still going to be good enough for the community. If they have a Derice launch map, it's going to be nuts. Like this will
wow.
The level that Treyarch, it'll just be nuts because of all the hype going into it, and then they give us a Derice map, we will just blow up. It will be insane. And I hope that happens. I really hope Treyarch goes and hits a home run with this first map. It would just be amazing for everybody in the community, and it justify their years of work they've been putting into this.
Agreed.
All right. So I think our last question here, do you think that Treyarch could mess up zombies for good? No takebacks. If so, how?
No, they could probably not ever mess up zombies for good. However, they do have a new double jump movement confirmed in Black Ops 3. What I think could be pretty bad is if they implement that in their zombies. We don't want that in our zombies. Well, let me speak for myself. I don't want that in my zombies. Treyarch zombies. It's fine for Exo zombies. It makes it unique in that sense. However, Treyarch zombies, I don't want that. Let's not have that. That wouldn't ruin it for me. I would still play it, but I would be awfully disappointed.
Yep. I would have to agree with that completely. I said that the gameplay style, if they change it too much from what we're used to, it could lead to a decline in zombies. I just don't see them doing anything to change that too much. They know what we love. They know what's worked. I think they're going to add new things. They're going to try new things like they do with Transit, but they're not going to change the core gameplay style of zombies. It's going to be, one jump, you're on the ground, you can't move faster than a normal person can. You can run. The zombies are going to stay roughly the same speed. Maybe they'll be a little more intense if they have some bosses here and there, but I think the overall style that we're used to is going to be the same. The scenery will change. There's going to be, different Easter eggs. They'll probably implement some new perks systems, maybe new weapon upgrade systems. None of that's going to change the core way we play zombies, and I think that's going to be fine. If they do change that for some reason, which I'd be completely shocked if they did, I would be very upset. And if they had a double jump system, I'd also be very upset because that would be more or less exo zombies without the exosuit. And that might be a problem for us down the road, but I don't think they're going to do that. So,
yeah.
I only think the only way Treyarch could mess up zombies beyond belief is if they just don't listen to the community at all. I mean, they can have their ideas, but if they just start changing everything, which they're not. We've already heard their interviews saying you got to keep what zombies simple at its core. We got to stay true to what zombies is. That alone to me says they're not gonna blow up zombies like they could. They could lose a lot of people with the storyline if they just end up making it stupid, almost like Exo Zombies, where it's just like, what? Come on, why are we fishing here? What's really going on? But I mean, gameplay-wise, that could be the issue. If they ever get something that's just so different, like both you guys brought up, it could really ruin it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really could. I don't think permanently. I think
it
could always
so tough.
The next map could always come out and they just kind of reverse all the crap that they did in the previous one that made everyone angry.
Right.
So
I
think they obviously do listen to the community. You got a guy like David Vonderhaar on Twitter who's just always out there talking and just messing with people. He's really involved, and I'm sure he passes along information to the right people. He must.
Yeah. Oh, that was a fabulous week of ZOMBROZ. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to tweet at us and tweet at your favorite YouTubers who you want to be on the show. Every Saturday at 2 p.m., the show goes live for you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. And it's always a blast to talk zombies. Are we hyped enough?
Oh, gosh, the hype is growing by week.
Just headbutted my wall. I'm not excited.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lagging. Go check out his channel for sure.
Please. All the links are below. Lagging, what's your Twitter?
It is @Laggin_.
Awesome. And make sure to go follow both Matt and me. All of our stuff is on screen in the description. Please go check out Lagging's channel. Absolutely amazing zombie player. Guys, it's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next ZOMBROZ video.
See you guys next Saturday. Peace.